Hi everyone, welcome back in another video project tutorial. So in this video, we're gonna be creating a complete SaaS project using AI. And the topic of the project, it's gonna be building an AI YouTube meta tags generator. And we're gonna make it as a SaaS because we're gonna use PayPal to accept payments, but also we're gonna be using a credit system engine to be able to actually um, to be able to track the credits. And also we're going to be using ballstack.dev, and we're going to be using a SaaS boilerplate. So if we go back to the ballstack.dev, and if you are in the pro mode or purchased the pro plan, you have full access to all the components that I built in ballstack.dev, and also you can access to the standard SaaS boilerplate that uses standard one payment and subscription system. And also we have this credit system SaaS that we're going to be using for our project. And if you are brand new, you can use the basic project if you want to just create a full stack, a simple full stack project. And also you have many free components that you want to test with and Bolstack just to see how things are working. So now let's go back to the Rackflow project. So this is the name that I choose for this project. But also if we go down a bit, you can check out all the features that you can get inside the boilerplate or the SaaS boilerplate. So we have Resend, Mailchimp. Also we have PayPal, we have Drizzle. Also, we have Google Analytics, MDX support, and this is the kicker. I included the docs section, so it is a complete, fully working docs section. All you have to do just update an array, update the docs or the MDX pages, and you are ready to go. And finally, we have, as I said, the Bolstack reusable components that you can check out inside the blog section. So now let's go back to our project that we're going to be building. And as you will see, this project really mean it. You can just take it right now and just make money from it. So it's not like the other projects in YouTube. They don't have a complete. They are a SaaS because you can accept payments, but there are many things that you need to add, like for example, and I think that they are very important for marketing and for reach, like blogging. So we're using a complete, we're using a Sanity inside of it because it is included in the boilerplate or the SaaS boilerplate. Also, we have a credit system using PayPal and a lot of things that I've tested before we can use in here. So that's why, as I said, you can just add one or two features into this project and you can put into production, market it, and make money from it if you want to. So let me reload the page just to see the fully animated landing page with all the sections needed inside any landing page. So as you can see right now, I didn't deploy it because since it has many things that need to be paid, like for example, a domain for resend. So if I deploy it into Vercel, so the email, it's not going to work out. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, we have the animation going on. We're using frame motion for this. So you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is I'm going to show you inside this video to update the data and the icons, and you are ready to go. So we have the features here. Also, we have the step-by-step, uh, short step-by-step section. We have also this plugin section. So this is connected to Sanity. So I don't want to just click on it because I want to just show you the full landing page. So I'm going to get into the section to the plugin part. Also, we have this pricing tier. Uh, Also, we have the testimonials with this animation and the velocity, as you can see as I'm scrolling. So it gets faster. So we have the frequently asked questions. Also, we have this newsletter that is connected to Mailchimp if we want to collect emails. And finally, we have this beautiful and animated footer. So as you can see, so these are the main sections that any SaaS landing page needs to have if you want to make your product blossom. So now let's log into our account to be able to see how things are working. So I'm going to log in. So you can log in with NextAuth with these providers, Google, and so if I click on Google, as you can see, I can choose my Google account. For testing, so just to show you that everything is working, um, so as you can see here, I'm just a brand new account because I have 0 credits. So as you can see, this badge popped up, and also we have this new button popped up because we are logged in. And here, if I go to the dashboard, so this is our dashboard because we don't have anything. It's a complete brand new account. So we have the overview, we have the history, and so this is what you will get right when you get the SaaS boilerplate. So all of these has been handled in the boilerplate, so you don't have to do anything. And also we have the billing section. So now I want to just show you how things gonna look like when you just create a new account. So now I'm gonna go sign in with the account that I used to test everything or all the flow inside this project. So so I created a fake account already. So I'm gonna type in my password. So as you can see, I'm successfully logged in. So the reason why I went back to the account because we have the callback URL. So if I go to the overview, now I can access to the data that is related to this account. So if I go to the account, here I can see my current tier is status is pro, and I click on the manage billing so I can access to the activity history, and I can see like more details on the plan that I'm using. And so I think that I'm gonna change the account because I created or I used another account where I have a lot of data and other things that I'm gonna show you with it, like the payment, for example. So let me log in with this account again. So this account has the starter pack, and as you can see, we have a lot of history because I've done a lot of testing with this, just to show you how things are working. So it is a starter account, and if I go to the overview, we have 3 generated meta tags related to this account. So I made this as 2 credits just to show you how we can be able to refill and also how we can be able to generate a new meta tag or video meta tag. So if I click on the generate, so I'm going to go to this form. So this is the form that we're going to be using to generate this meta tag of the video. So here, if we go back to Bull Stack and I go to the dialog, sorry, forms. So this is the component that we're going to be using. So this component, so we're not going to go into the details how to create this component. This component has all the codes needed, all the code, sorry, needed to be able to make it work with the toast notification and also with the try and catch block and many other things that it's going to save you a lot of time. So all you have to do just to plug it with your project and ready to go, and this is what we're going to be doing in our project. So what I'm going to do here to generate a new meta tag, so uh, I'm gonna add the topic like React app application. So the tone is going to be professional. I'm gonna add or change to 5 titles. So the text is going to be 20 and the words, the description word, that's going to be 25. So I'm going to include emojis. So for the context, so if I click on the generate, So as you can see, I can't because I need to provide this because we are using React hook form and SOD integrated inside the component. So I'm going to just add a simple context. Um, this is a video about React app and Next.js. So for the model that I'm using the Gamma 3 model just for testing. It's pretty slow, but it's a really good model and free to use just for testing. So I'm going to click on Generate Architecture. So as you can see, our output has been generated successfully. So I can copy the title that I want. Also, I can copy the description, all the tags. And the good thing is you can access to it as many as you would like. So if I go back, as you can see, it has been generated. So here it is. So this is the generated meta tag, so I can access to it as long as I want. And notice that this is going to be disabled. So we have one credit left. So I'm going to generate another one just to show you how we can be able to refill the credit by using PayPal. So we're going to use Sandbox, of course, to be able to refill the credits. So I'm going to click on the generate, and I'm going to just type in uh, death of junior devs. So the title is going to be 520. And so let's stick with the 100. And so let's generate the titles and the description and the keywords. So as you can see, this has been generated. And now, as you can see, we have 5 more credits because we have 0 credits. So if we go to the dashboard here and we go to the account, so this is going to be changing automatically. So this, it's part of the SaaS boilerplate that I built. So it's going to handle all the logic behind this. So you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just to build the features. That's it. So the credit system has been handled by myself. So if I go to the billing again, so this is going to be synced. So if I click on the refill credits, so as you can see, we're going to go back to the pricing. So we can refill with the 20 credits, or we can upgrade if we want to for more credits. So if I click on the upgrade, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go to the incognito page because from here, I'm gonna log in with the Sandbox PayPal account. So again, I'm gonna log in with the, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna upgrade to this plan. So let's click on it. So I'm gonna go to the checkout. Also, the checkout logic is completely handled. So here we have the new credits. So I'm gonna click on continue payment. So let's connect with the Sandbox PayPal account, my password. So as you can see, we have the pricing. So notice that we are in the Sandbox mode. So I'm gonna click on complete purchase. So the purchase has been successful. So if I click on go to the dashboard, so notice that we have 150 credits. And if we go to the account, so as you can see, we don't have the red badge, and also for the billing, we don't have it. And now we can keep continuing uh, generating meta tags as much as we want, depending on the credits. So also another thing that I want to show you is we can be able to like upgrade for other or downgrade if we want to and not lose the credits. So for example, if we go to the pricing section, so here, as you can see, the data has been changed, the button text has been changed, because now we are in the Pro plan. So if I click on buy credits, so as you can see, we have a warning here. We are moving to a lower tier. Your existing 150 credits will remain in your account, but we are going to add 20 credits. So also this has been handled in the SaaS plate. So I did all the logic and everything in between to be able to handle this for you. So you don't have to do anything in the pricing logic with the checkout and all of that, and just focus on building the feature. So if I continue the payment again, so we're going to add 20 credits to the 150 credits. So if I complete the purchase, so as you can see, the purchase has been completed. And if I go back to the dashboard, so we're back to the starter package. And if we go to the account, so the same thing here, and also for the billing. And notice here we have a full activity history of all the transactions that has been made. So it's going to be pulled out from the database and shown in the UI. And there, all of this has been handled in the SaaS boilerplate. So another thing, so this demo is a little bit long because it has all of the features. So that's why I said at the beginning, if you just take this project, add one or two features, you can make money from it, uh, honestly. So if we go to the blog here, so this is the blog page, as you can see. So if I click, so we have the search. As you can see, also we have the filtering. So all of this is in the server page for CEO and fast loading. So if I click on this article, for example, so as you can see, so this is the page. It has all the necessary features for a good experience when users are reading a blog page. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, we have this uh, tables of content, and I can also access to the heading that I want. Also, we have the coding section. So also we have the recommended posts. Also, I can go to the previous or the next content. So as you can see, we have a complete blogging system using Sanity. It is completely integrated. Also, another thing that I want to show you is the API docs. So the reason why I said at the beginning that you can take this and you can make money from it. And as you can see, the demo is a little bit long because it has everything that you need to make money from it. Also, I have a doc section. I'm using MDX to be able to actually render all the pages in here and to make things a bit fast. So I added the logic to be able to do this. All you have to do, change an array and change the pages, and you are ready to go. So now I'm gonna go back to the home account, and one last thing that I'm going to show you, because this demo it was a bit longer than I thought. I'm going to go to the term section. Also, we have the legal pages since we're using MDX. So we're going to use this to be able to create our legal pages. And I think these are very important when you are when you are selling anything outline to avoid any problems in the future. So also we have the support or the contact page. So I need to change the URL to contact and the footer. Also, we have this uh, working, complete working contact us page that uses recent to be able to send emails. So as you can see, it is a complete packed SaaS project with everything that you need: animated landing page, credits system using PayPal, and a lot of things that you can use right now to make money from this ready production ready SaaS production. So if you are interested about how I built this project, stick with me till the end of this video. Hi everyone, welcome back. So we're going to start building our project, and we're going to use this poststack.dev at our disposal to actually fast track the building process of our project. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on Generate Next.js project, and I'm going to choose this one, Credit System SaaS. So this is what we're going to be using because since we're using AI, so we need to have a credit system um, since AI is not something free to use. So I'm going to click on download. So we're going to download our code. So once it has been downloaded, so I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to extract all the source code in a new file. So I'm going to click on extract and then the my folder. So I'm going to call this rack flow new and extract all the files here. So once this has been done, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the folder that I just created. So right now we are in the source code. And so the first thing that I want to show you here is the NV variables. So these are the NV variables for all the projects. So this is the first thing that you should do. But the most critical things that we should fill are the auth, and also we need to add the database. So the database is in the in here, so we need to add our URL string from Neon database, as I'm going to show you, but also we need to add the PayPal uh, variables from the developer account. So those are the most important things that we should add before we start using our project. But of course, we need to install the packages, and this is what we're going to be doing first. So let's open up our terminal and type in npm install. So as you can see, we installed all the packages successfully. So the first thing that I'm gonna do before we jump in into filling up the variables. So what I'm gonna talk about is this credit system that I talked about in the demo um, of the project. So if you go to the project, the products, as you can see, we have the product config. So let me close this. So inside the product config, as you can see, so these are the products that we are using in our tiers, and this is coming from, so the schema is coming from the tier and the plan. So if you go to the database schema, so let's go to the database and let's go to the schema.js. And here, so this is the definition of the plan. So the single source of truth, it's going to be our database. So to make sure that everything is unified. And we're going to use this to be able to create our tiers. And I've managed to create all the configurations for the pricing UI, for the checkout UI, for the billing UI, and for the account UI. So you can be able to change these to show in the UI as you would like, depending on how it looks into how your application looks. So once we got this out of the way, so the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to create our database. So what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to go to Neon. So I think because I'm already logged in and I already created a project, so I'm going to log into my account. So let me log in to another account that I'm using uh, for the projects that I'm building. So my main account, I'm using it. Sorry, I need to go back to I need to go back to my account. So let's create a new account or a new database in this, and afterward, I'm gonna delete the database. So let's go to the table. or let's go to the dashboard, sorry. And here, let's click on the connect. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a new database and I'm going to call it rack flow new, and then create. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to turn this on and I'm gonna go to the env variable and I'm gonna copy the snippet. So then I'm gonna go back to my project, and then also I need to change the extension of this to be taken into account by Next.js. And then I'm gonna copy this URL in here. So after I've done this, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to open up again my terminal, and then I'm gonna type in npm run migration, and I'm gonna type in generate. So as you can see, these tables has been generated, and then I'm gonna type in npm run migration push. So if we go back to our database here, and as you can see, all the tables has been added successfully and right away in our database. So we have the account, we have the payment, we have the session, the subscription. So the description is from the standard boilerplate that I showed you. So I should delete this one because we're not going to use it. So we have the user, and finally we have the verification token. So all of this has been set up for you to be able to avoid doing all of this because it's time consuming, and like focus on building your project. So the thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to fill up the Google Client ID and the Google Client secrets. I'm not going to go through this. Probably you already know how to be able to do this, and there are many videos out there that's showing you how to be able to do this. So I'm gonna fill up this from my old env variables, and then I'm gonna uh, get back to the code. So I filled up all the env variables. Of course, I'm not gonna show you the file and all the variables. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna open up again my terminal, and I'm gonna type in npm run dev to start our project. So the completion of the project has finished. It's going to take a lot of time because we have a lot, many things and many features. As you can see, the console log is pretty filled out. So if we go back, so we don't have any error. If we go back to our project, so as you can see, this is what we're going to get right off the bat. So we're going to get this beautiful and animated landing page. So what I've done in the demo, so I didn't create everything from scratch. So what I've done, as we are going to see, we're going to go to the code and just update the data of each section. So that's going to be a time saver. So as you can see, if I scroll down, so this is what we are gonna get. So the same structure, as you can see, and the reason why we got the same data because I'm using the same env variable that I used inside Sanity. So I don't want to I don't want to log in to my Sanity account because what they're doing, they are just showing the env or the project ID once you're logged in. So it's not hidden. So that's why I didn't want to do this. But it's very simple. All you have to do, go to the sanity.io, create a new account, create a new project, and add, it's going to give you the project ID that you can use in your Next.js project. So as you can see, you will have this complete landing page, fully animated landing page. So all you have to do are going to do is updating the data. And this is the good part. So as I said at the demo, so this is ready to be used with the credit system that I showed you in the demo. So you don't have to do anything or any wiring inside your project. For example, if I go to the pricing section, so these are the pricing. So let's go back to our code and let's go to the lib folder. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to the pricing UI config. And here, what I'm going to do here, for example, I'm going to add some, just randomly, I'm going to add some stuff here. And also, if I go to the product config, and I can change the price from here. So if I save all the files, as you can see, everything has been updated accordingly. And if I click on upgrade plan, when I go to the checkout, because all the pages are going to pull out the data from these files that I showed you inside the products folder. So as you can see, we are gonna get our updated price. So you don't have to go inside the code and try to change the data or anything like this. All you have to do, just change what you want inside the products folder. So probably you may read just a little bit about the code, but it's very easy to set up and to update. So I'm in the developer mode and the sandbox mode. So this is going to be set by default, and I'm going to go to the app credentials. So these are the client IDs and the secret ID. So that's why I want to show you this, because these are completely hidden. So you can create a new app and just get the client ID and the secret ID and added them into your variable. So it's very easy to set up. So let me close this. So once you've done with this, so let me copy this again, and um, so let's go to the incognito page as I did for the authentication. So I'm gonna log in with the account. So as you can see, everything is working from the start. So just to show you that this is going to work out from the start. So I need to create a new account because we are in a new brand project. So I used the previous accounts that I used in the demo uh, project. So let's call this test. And also, as you can see, the authentication works right off the bat by just adding the env variables. So you don't have to do anything in the code. Everything has been handled for you. So as you can see, I'm back in the project. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to the pricing, and then I'm going to go to the upgrade plan, and I'm going to click on continue and click on PayPal, and I'm going to add the sandbox Gmail account. Click next, and then I'm going to add my password. So as you can see, I'm logged into my PayPal account and complete purchase. So as you can see, the purchase has been completed successfully. So when I click on go to the dashboard, so as you can see, the current tier status is Pro, and now we have 150 credits. So what I want to show you is from the start, you have this credit system that is not related to the logic or the features of the project. So you can so this is very crucial because this needs to be independent from the features that you are building. So you can reuse this stack for other future projects, especially for the projects that are related to AI, because they use credit system, and you need to have that kind of system to actually to make the building of the project a lot faster. So now once we have this set up and I showed you that everything is working fine, so the next step that we're gonna start doing is updating our landing page. So if we go back to the home section, so as you can see, we have see the text or the data that we're using. It's just generic AI enterprise level text. So what we're gonna do here, if we go back and what we're gonna do here, we are gonna go to the um, so we're gonna go to the main page, which is the page.tsx. So let's open up the app folder and then let's go to the page.tsx. So as you can see inside the page.tsx, we have the metadata, so you can update this for the CEO. So I've already incorporated this in the page.tsx, but also we need to update all of this. And this is the actual landing page. So if we go to the navbar header, so this is the navbar header with all the logic in it. And what we're going to start doing here, we're going to start updating the hero section. So this is what we're going to do. So we don't have to add any line of code or any logic inside of the boilerplate. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just update the data in here and we are ready to go. So as you can see, we're going to start by updating the hero section, and this was very easy to do as I'm going to show you. So we added the text that I showed you in the demo. So the element that we should update, as you can see, is the color. So we're using ShadCN, so we need to update the primary color of our whole project. And this is what we're going to do. So the first thing, we're going to go back to ballstack.dev because I'm providing a really free tool, and I think that it is useful, and also it solves a small problem that ShadCN developers didn't add in their websites. I don't know what is the reason, is to be able to actually change the color and get the code uh, to add in the global.css. So if we go to the tools here, so click on the ShadCN UI color picker. So this is the color that I used. So this is going to be saved in the local storage. Once I generate, for example, a new code like this, and I click on generate. So as you can see, I'm going to get the code, all the formats, and it's going to be added in the local storage if I want to reuse it in other projects. So I'm going to click on this color that I used for the rank flow project, and I'm going to copy this since I'm using the Tailwind version 3. So let's go back to the global.css of the project, and what I'm going to do here, so I'm gonna delete these sections and I'm gonna paste the code from the website. So now if I go back here and I reload the page, we should see the new color theme in our project. So as you can see, this is the color has been updated successfully. And I think this is very useful. As I said, it's not available in ShadCN and their uh, and the official ShadCN website. So that's why I wanted to build this and I provided this for free. So now, as you can see, we have things look a lot nicer. So now if I go to the dark mode, so probably I should update the color of the text, but don't worry, it's not a big of a deal. But the most important thing is making things useful. So now let's go back to the projects and we're gonna go specifically to the hero section. So the hero section is we are using the hero section 8 component, and this is part of Ballstack as well. So uh, let's search the component hero section, and I'm gonna go all the way down here. So this is the component that we are using for our project. So if we go to the page, as you can see, I'm providing beside the code that talks how to be able to use by providing the examples. So let's go back again to the code. And as you can see, what we're doing here, we are creating this project that aligns with the hero section props of the component to make sure that it is type safe before we use it inside the component. So I'm not going to go through into all of this. You can read the docs if you want to. So here what we're going to do, we are going to use this show dashboard placeholder to be able to turn it off, since we're not going to use this dashboard preview, and then we're going to pass with a spread operator to make sure that we are using all these properties inside the components, or the component, sorry. And here you go. So this is our component. So now once we got this out of the way, so we're gonna do the same thing for the hero section. So I'm gonna actually speed up the process a little bit, and I think that it's not something very important for a lot of for you. You care more about how to build the main feature or features of this project. So I updated the complete landing page. So what I just do, I just copy and paste the code just to save time, to focus on or to explain deeply the feature that we're going to be building. So, and also I'm going to go through very quickly what I did inside the code. So let's start the uh, with the feature section. So the feature section. So if we go back to the code, so here is how the code is organized. Inside the homepage components, so we have the feature section. So this is the code that is called by the page.tsx of the main page of the project. So here, if we go all the way down, so we're using the feature section 5. So this is the component that used from BallStack inside this boilerplate to be able to use it. So if we go back to the ballstack.dev and go to features sections, and if we go to the feature section 5, so this is the component that I used for the landing page. As you can see, it is totally animated by using frame motion, but also I added all the logic needed to be able to handle edge cases. And also it is a mobile responsive, as you can see. So here, if I go back to the code, so to be able to make sure that I'm using the right structure, the type of the feature section prompt. So as you can see, I made the prompt from the component, exported to be able to use it inside the print component. So here we have the section ID, the feature badge, the title, description. So we can be able to also to set the truncate limit for the text inside each paragraph of each section or feature. So we have list features position, so you can set it as left as well. So this is something that I added inside the component. So if I go back in here, so as you can see, it is set automatically to this side. So it depends on what you want. Um, we have the feature arrays, so you can be able to add the data here. To be honest with you, I'm using AI a lot to be able to come up with text, so you don't want to like waste time on this. And then we are gonna use all the variable, and we are gonna put it like this by using spread operator inside the feature section 5 main component. So this is for the feature section. Now I'm gonna go to this section, the how it works section. So here I'm gonna open up this folder. So this folder called how it works. So here what I did, I used the how it works 2 components. So if we go back to BallStack here, how it works, so we have currently 3 components. So this is the component that I used. Also, it is completely responsive as well. And here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna use the how it works prop or type to be able to safely use all the properties inside before it can be consumed by how it works 2 components. So I did the same thing. So what I do, I just give to AI the components how it works, and I and I said to the AI to be able to come up with this kind of thing depending on what I'm building. So now we're gonna go next. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to the next section, which is this one, the blog post section. So we're gonna look for the folder blog section, and here it's gonna be a little bit different because in this component uh, I'm using this query from Sanity. So I forgot the name of this language. Probably they built it to be able to actually pull out the data from Sanity and use it inside your front end. So first, what I'm doing here in the blog section, I'm creating a fallback card. So always you wanna in your code to create to have some fallbacks if something goes wrong with the server or with Sanity. The code is gonna fall back to this to show something to the user, and then we're gonna create this blog cards area, this empty area, and then we're gonna use this query. So this client is coming from sanity.ts inside the lib folder. And then we're going to use this code to be able to populate all these properties before we can put in them inside the post array property from the blog post section 4. So if we go back to BullStack here, if we search blog post section, so this is the component that I use. So this is the component that I used to be able to actually use it inside the landing page. Next, we have this. So this is a little bit different. So I'm gonna just show you how things working inside the pricing page because it comes up with the boilerplate. So if we go to the pricing section here and the page.jsx. So we have the pricing container. So if I click on it, as you will see, I'm going to go to the pricing page or the pricing route. So what I'm doing, I'm just using one component from the pricing page and I'm reusing it inside the landing page. So you don't want to have different data in different pages. You want to have one data that is synced across many pages. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm taking the data that is inside the pricing route or the pricing page, and then I'm importing this component, which is this one, inside the landing page. And the component that I'm using here, if I go to search for the pricing, so the component that I used is this one. So this is the component that I used. So when I'm building each component, I want to make sure that it is highly flexible to use it in different cases. So even with AI, it takes me a lot of time because I need to test things out. So you don't want to blindly trust AI. So I want to test things out. And also you need to come up with your own experience to make sure that nothing breaks in the future. So the next section that we are gonna look at is this one. So this one, as you can see, the data or the mock data that I'm using from the component itself. So if I go back here and so let's search for testimonials. So I think that's the last one. I'm using I'm using frame motion to be able to actually create this good looking animation, but also the velocity, and it has a lot of code inside of it. It uses a lot of math. To be honest with you, AI has helped me a lot to create this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to create that kind of feature. So if we go to the testimonials, so this is the testimonials. As you can see, I'm just importing the testimonials 5 component, and I'm just using it because everything is default. So um, each component that I create, I want to make sure that all the properties inside of it are optional so you can see how it looks like before you actually update the component. And Finally, we have the frequently asked question. So let's go back to the code. So this is the one that I'm using, and so this is the component. So I'm using this array, I'm creating it, and then I'm gonna use all the properties, all the props that this component provides. So I don't have to go inside the component. And finally, here in the feature, in the items property, we are going to use this array that we just created, nothing fancy. So this component as well is coming from ballstack.dev. So if I search for the component, so this is the component that I'm using. And we have this one, the newsletter. So this newsletter, if we go to back to the code here. So this is going to be a little bit different because actually I'm hitting this API, as you can see, this Mailchimp API to be able to add the email inside your audience in Mailchimp. So actually, I'm calling the API here, and so the response it's going to be we're going to call the send welcome email. So this is the component that we're using inside the actions folder to be able to send the email via resend. And here we're using the newsletter tool component to be able to show all the information. It handles all the edge cases and also the error checking and all of that kind of thing inside this component. So that's why our code looks a lot cleaner because we are just taking reusable components from Ballstack and using them. All you have to do is to know how it works, read a little bit about the examples, and you are ready to go. And finally, we have this footer. So this footer, it has just information. So let's go to the footer section. So this footer section, it's going to be different than the footers that you are using inside other pages. So this is the footer here. So those are this is the type structure of the footer 3 props. As you can see, we are calling this type to be able to safely use it inside the footer 3 component. So again, I'm going to show you the component footer. So this is the component, as you can see, highly flexible, and also it is animated uh, at the top of that. So like just to save you a lot of time when you are building landing pages. So as you can see, this is how I've been able to build the landing page, and you can see it's very fast because you are just using reusable components. All you have to do is just access to Ballstack, and also I have many components that you can use if you want to actually have a personalized landing page. So this is what's part of the whole package. So now, after I showed you how I created or how the landing page has been created, so now we're going to focus on the core element, which is building the feature of generating AI video metadata with AI. So to be able to work on the main feature of our application, so the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna actually download the new component. So this component, probably if you watch the first section of the video, the demo part, so I've already talked about it. So this is the component that we're gonna be using. So if I click on generate, so this is just a demo. So if I click on the button, as you can see, it's going to show the title, the description, but also, as you saw, we have a toast notification already built in. And also we have everything inside, the logic inside. As you can see, the credit lift has been also downgraded. So this is the component that we're going to be using. And I also actually, I can copy the description. So everything inside the component has been done just to be able to save a lot of time and keep going. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to access to the component, and then I'm going to download the component. So let's go to the actual project. And then I'm going to go to the apps folder inside the components folder. And then I'm going to save the file. So the file has been successfully saved. So what I'm going to do here inside the app folder, I'm going to create a new route. So I'm going to call it generate meta, and then I'm going to create a new file called page.tsx. Then I'm going to create a simple functional component. And here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call form. Uh, so the actual name of the component is this one. So I'm going to save the file. So of course, we're going to do a lot of things inside this component. So just to show you how things are working from the get-go, then I'm going to access to the route that we just created. So this is actual component, as you can see. So the reason why we don't have it's completely disabled, so we need to add some data inside the page.tsx. And so the first thing that we're going to do before we can add some data, so we need, this is the kind of workflow that I follow. Like I work on the mock data just to make sure that to know how the data flows inside the project, especially with the UI compartment. Then when I'm happy with all the results that I want, then I go to the front end. So the thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to create or add the mock data that I used to be able to create this project. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to the dashboard page. So this is the dashboard page, and then I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it mock data.ts. So to save time, of course, I just pasted the code, so I don't want to write stuff here. So as you can see, we have this single view row type. So this type, so I created this type just to actually create the structure of the elements that I'm going to use inside the table that we're going to be using in our dashboard. So we have the ID, the topic, the context, the video description, the tone, generated at, and also we have generated results. So this one is going to come from the component itself, just to make sure that all the structure that we have inside the initial mocks row syncs with the structure that we used inside the component. And finally, we have the metadata form value. So if I go to the component inside, so this is the interface that we're using. And for the other one, we are using this one that is coming from Zod. So as I said, it has Zod and React Hook Form or the built-in. And as you can see, it's a pretty heavy component. And the good part about this, it's going to keep your whole code base organized because you have the business logic inside the components folder. So in the code, you are just using them. So that's going to help a lot to make your code base a lot readable and maintainable in the long term. So once we have the mock data set up, so now I'm gonna create a new store by using Zastand as a state management. And also we're gonna use inside of it all the functions needed. So inside this hooks folder, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create use meta data videos.js. I'm gonna paste the code. So don't worry, I'm gonna explain all this code. So we're using Zastand to be able to create this store. So first we're gonna define the interface. So this is the interface. So we have the video rows to be able to store our data, the is loading, and the as is add loading, delete loading. So these are gonna be using to be able to show the spinner And also we have the selected video item and the setter of it, because we're going to be using it to be able to select the video when we want to show the generated metadata, load video data. So this function is we're gonna use it in our dashboard to be able to load the data whenever the component renders. So this one to be able to add the new entry, delete it, and also because the table provides the feature of both selection, so we can be able to use this to be able to delete uh, at once many generated results. And then of course we're going to set the default state, and we're going to use the setter. So this is the load video data, so this is the code of it. So first we're going to make sure that the length, if it is not 0, if it is 0, we're gonna accept we're going to return nothing, meaning that we're going to exit the function. And then we are using some sorting, and also we are updating the is loading state. And because this it's going to be it's async, we're using the new promise. So since we're going to use this function to be able to load data from the database later on, and then we're going to update the result inside the video rows. We have this one to be able to add the data. As you can see, it's a pretty simple code with a promise. And then we're going to update the video rows with the new element in here. And then the is loading, it's going to be false. So this one for deleting. So the argument is going to be a simple ID. And this one for the bulk delete videos. So here, Zastgen provides this API to be able to store the data inside the local storage, because this is very handy, especially when you are testing and playing with data, because this data is going to be used part of the server components. And when I change pages, I lose the data inside the memory. So to be able to actually persist the data and see how things work, we're going to use the local storage from the API through the API that Zastgen provides. So this is the actual store that I used for the whole application. So I just took it from the project that I built and I just pasted it inside of here. So once we have all the necessary elements ready to be able to use our data, the functions and the mock data, so let me save the file. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go back to the dashboard. So here, part of the boilerplate, if we go to the nav items, so here we have the actual tabs. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add two tabs, the overview tab and the history tab. So as you can see, I added the overview tab, so the value and also the label, and also I added the icon from the icon that I'm going to be using for each tab. So now once I added this, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a new file called overview.txt, and then I'm going to add history.txt. So after I created the files, now we need to add the code before we can be able to use it inside the page.tsx. So here inside the page.tsx, so what I'm going to do here, um, I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm gonna actually, so if I hover over the item, as you can see, it has the value, the label, the icon. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to choose the overview. And so I'm going to, so let me first create a new component here. So let me change the name. And also I'm gonna create a new empty component, and I'm gonna call it history overview. So I'm gonna save the uh, sorry, the history tab. So let's copy this and paste it in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to the page.tsx, and so here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call overview tab. And so let me get rid from this. So later on, I'm gonna just copy and paste all the whole code just to show you how things work. And also, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it in here. And I'm gonna call the history tab. And here, I'm gonna change the value history. And here we have the value. So we should see our new tabs inside the application. So if we go back here, so I need to add the href for the back button. So we're going to do this later. So let's go back to the dashboard, and hopefully we can be able to see without any errors the tab that we just added. So as you can see, so we have the history and we have the overview. So the only thing that we're gonna be doing is filling up each component that is pointed to each tab, and this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start with the overview. So I just pasted the whole code of the overview. So as you can see, it is a pretty long code that I used or that I created. And also, as you can see, we have some errors. So I need to import these components. So these components, I'm gonna use them from BallStack. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go back to BallStack. And so I'm gonna type in statistic sections. Um so I need to go to the dashboard section, and so I'm gonna access to the statistic card. So this is the component that we're gonna be using. So let's go inside of it, and then I'm gonna download this component inside the rack flow new um, code. And also I'm gonna go back to blocks, and then I'm gonna download the data table. So the good thing about this table, as we will see, so here we have, so this table is everything, sorting. Also, it handles the multi-selection, it handles the search. So if we go to the docs here, as you can see, the whole code, it indicates that this code is pretty heavy because it handles everything. So I made sure that this table is fully reusable so you can use it many times across your application. And this is what we're going to be doing inside our application. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to download this component, and let's go back to our code. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just type in here, and TypeScript will know that this component exists. So all we have to do is import it, and we should see uh, our updated component inside the dashboard. So hopefully that we can see this without any errors. So as you can see, this is the component. So the only thing that I need to do, I need to update the actual header. So but the most important thing, we have our data. So as you can see, we can access through the data table component that I just showed you. And we are using the initial mock data that I created. So this is the data. So the thing that I need to do here, so I need to use the slice function to be able to just show the first 6 elements. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to use from here the slice function, JavaScript function. like this and save the file. So if we go back here, we can be able to see just 6 elements. So we don't want to access to the whole history because the whole history is going to be handled by this tab. So, and this is what I'm going to do to save time. I'm going to just copy and paste and I'm going to explain everything. But before I go into it, so let's go through this code very quickly. So here we have this dynamic card. So it's going to actually calculate all the data depending on the mock initial data. So we can calculate the total words, the word count, and the average words. And also we have some ternary operator here. And also we are going to calculate the average score. And then we're going to return based on the statistic cards structure object. So we're going to return an area of all of these elements, and that's going to be dependent on the video rows. So this is why we use the use memo hook just to make sure that this function is optimized. Then we are going to use this use effect hook to be able to load up the data. So we're going to use the load video data from the store, and then we're going to use the component to be able to show the UI. So as you can see, the data table provides a lot of components, as you can see, to be able to show the table. So here, uh, as you can see from here, there are some of the features that I didn't include inside here that are going to be included inside the history, like the filtering and the searching. So now let's go to the history component, and I'm gonna copy and paste the code to be able to see the full history of our data. So I just added the code that I used in the history.tsx. So this is the whole code, as you can see. So the best thing about using this data table, so we're going to use many other prompts to make sure that it looks like this. So as you can see, we can be able to filter by criterion or professional, and also we can sort by the elements that we want. So we have the sorting directions, and also we have the searching. And also we have the pagination. So everything is handled by the data table component that I'm providing from Stack to be able to save a ton of time. So we have one table that is used in the history, but also it is used inside the overview. So this is how you can this is how things work, and you want to have one component, reusable component, and using across many elements or many pages across the application to save a lot of time. So if we go back to the file, so as you can see, we have the search. So I added the search. So those are the elements that are different from the overview data table. So we have the search. Also, we have the on row click. So I'm going to access to the ID, and then I'm going to I'm going to find the ID or the video, and then I'm gonna look if it is found. Then I'm gonna use the selected video item to be able to access to the generate meta data. So I need to add some code inside the route before I can click on the element here before I use it. So we have the sort order, the pagination, also I added it in here. So as you can see, this component has a lot of features that you can use to save a ton of time. So once we have our dashboard, as you can see, is ready to be used, and also is ready to use or to be synced with the database. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to work on the generate meta. So I need to add some code to make sure that everything works perfectly. So next, I'm going to show you how to be able to use the video metadata generator component that we just downloaded from poststack.dev. So here in the overview, if I click on generate new entry, so as you can see, I updated the code so you can be able to see the nav bar and the footer. And also I added the core elements inside of it. So now if I type, for example, anything, so let's do this type script. And so I'm gonna add anything because I'm just using mock data as a result, just to show you that everything is working. So when I click on generate, so as you can see, we're gonna generate this mock data. So notice that the credits has not been updated because these elements or these numbers are coming from the database, not from the state or the state management. So uh, so this is how things are working. So now let's go back to the page.tsx of the route. So I'm going to show you the whole code, how it works. So we're going to actually use the credits from the use credit store. And then we are going to use all of these functions from the store, use video store. And then, so these are just Next.js elements to be able to get access to the URL. And then we're gonna create this function to handle the button, the back button. So based on if the from source overview. So the reason why we add in this, so I want to make sure because we can access to this route from the overview tab and the history tab. So that's why we are using this in the URL. So if I go back here, we're going to go back to the overview tab. So if I go to the history and I access to the actual generated row, so if I go back, I can go back to the history. So we are using this, we're knowing this just from the URL. So this is why we are using all of this from Next.js. Then this is the button that actually is linked to the button that we clicked on the form. So actually the data, it's going to be this form, and we're gonna return as a promise this generation result from the form, and then we're gonna use a promise just to fake the generation. So if the API success, we're gonna generate this, and then we're gonna add the new entry, and the new entry is gonna be called by used inside the add video entry called from the use video store. And so this, it's going to update the state, and we're going to be able to see our new generated element inside here. So if you go back to the overview, as you can see, we have 14 generation and one has been added. So this is the UI element of the whole application. So just to save time, I just copy and paste it. And and also explained a bit the code, how it works. So this is how the application, so I've been able to create this application a lot faster because I've done a lot of work with the SaaS boilerplate. So all you have to do is just to build the features, add the tabs, and you are ready to go.